This might be one of the most peaceful and beautiful cemeteries I've ever seen. His name is Button Gwinnett. If that name doesn't sound familiar to you, he was a signer of the Declaration of Independence. Now, when the Declaration was signed, everybody who was somebody in our country signed it. And our Independence Day is celebrated on July 4th. And this happened in 1776. Now, the document wasn't actually signed until August of 1776. A lot of people think that it happened on Independence Day. It did not. But one of the men who signed the Declaration, Button Gwinnett, now he was born in England and he kind of moved around a little bit. He found his way to the United States. He was a failed business owner multiple times over. He ended up going into politics and he found a little bit of success there. But what he didn't find were friends. And by that I mean he had a bitter rivalry with a man named Lachlan McIntosh. And the interesting thing about that is that the two of them had very, very opposite ideals, I guess you could say. And there ended up being a duel. It was based off of an issue where Button Gwinnett pointed his finger at McIntosh's brother and basically charged him with treason. And they ended up having a duel. Button Gwinnett and McIntosh, they each shot each other. McIntosh lived, Button Gwinnett did not. Now, he was in his early 40s when he passed away. And the interesting thing is, Button Gwinnett may not be anywhere close to the most notable name that signed the Declaration of Independence, but for people that appreciate history, people that collect artifacts from that time period, Button Gwinnett's signature is probably one of the rarest signatures in the world, because he was not somebody who lived a long life. He was not somebody that had a long life in politics, so there's not much material of him out there. So whenever there's like a document signed by Button Gwinnett that comes up, it's a very big deal and it sells for a lot of money. Now, just up here is the memorial for Button Gwinnett, signer of the Declaration of Independence. Now, it's not believed that he was actually laid to rest under this memorial, but nobody knows for sure. This memorial to Button Gwinnett, born 1735, died 1777. Georgia signer of the Declaration of Independence, President of Georgia, whose remains buried in the cemetery are believed to lie entombed hereunder. And now, all the reports that I've read about that seem to lean towards people are not sure about this. Local historians have told me this when I was digging into this and doing some research. But if he is right under this, that would be great. But Savannah, Chatham County Historic Site Monument Commission, Button Gwinnett, the signature to the Declaration of Independence. That's the signature right there. This was put up in 1964. Beautiful memorial. There's a look at it from the other end. Now, if you see, there's palm trees over here, there's Spanish moss in a lot of the trees, very old tombs. But like I said, this place has not been accepting active burials for quite some time, but now it's kind of doubling as a public park. There's a lot of people walking through here at any given time. Savannah, Georgia, a town full of history and movie history, because not only, is there actual history like this, but just over here on the other side of the cemetery is a place called Chippewa Square, and I'll do another video on that, but that is where the bus stop scenes were shot from Forrest Gump. As you can see, there's roads going all around this cemetery. But it's nice to see people showing up here and kind of reading the tombstones and taking in the history of this place. There is Nathaniel Greene right here, Major General, Continental Army. and John Maitland. This tomb, known as the Graham Vault, possesses the distinction of having been the burial place of two heroes of the Revolutionary War, one American, the other British. If you'd like to pause that and read it, feel free. Nathaniel Greene. This is incredible. It's just walking history. Let's see if there's anything on the other side of this. The Graham Vault. Here rested for 114 years the remains of Major General Nathaniel Greene. Born in Rhode Island, August 1742. Died at Mulberry Grove, Georgia, June 19, 1786. His remains and those of his eldest son, George Washington Greene, now lie under the monument in Johnson Square in this city. Just incredible. This looks a little intriguing over here, so we'll go and take a look at it. Pretty incredible. Mary Wallace, 1766 to 1852. In memory of Mrs. Grace Belcher, wife of James Belcher, died January 14th, 1793, 45 years old. A lot of people have left rocks, coins, a couple shells. Pretty incredible place. In this cemetery, many victims of the Great Yellow Fever epidemic of 1820 were buried. Nearly 700 Savannahans died that year, including 2 local physicians who lost their lives caring for the stricken. Several epidemics followed. In 1854, the Savannah Benevolent Association was organized to aid the families of the fever victims. It is very hot out here today. If you hear me slurring a little bit, definitely need a little more water here. But a very beautiful place. Check out this tree here. This is part of what makes this part of the country so beautiful.